Hello everybody, thank you for stopping into today's stream. Let me get the usual stuff set up and we can just go ahead and get started promptly. Get the webcam on, looking crisp as usual. Let me just shrink it down a little bit. Turn off that, turn that on, there we go. Alright, let me just get my playlist going in the background and we'll be ready to roll. Starting out with some Dicey Dungeons today. Very fun soundtrack for a very fun game. Hey, how's everybody doing? I almost said tonight, but it's 3. Hey, Oro, Crystal Sword, Ethan Levy, good to see you again. And Ember. Hope everybody is doing well. Alright, so in case you've missed some of the more recent streams, I guess just last week's stream, I am working on a new demo that contains revamped versions of the first world, as well as probably a bonus level, and some big quality of life features, and the goal is going to be to get that out on Steam, which I imagine will be pretty easy. Well, the getting it on Steam part will be easy. I don't know about the other parts. Crispiest camera I've ever seen. Very true. We've done a revamp for the first level, and I did a lot of work on this one last week, so we're probably not going to touch on this today. I think it's in a pretty good spot where it is, but I probably want to do some more tweaks and changes just to get it even higher up there, get a little bit higher quality across the board for it. And then we've got the 3 buildings revamp, which is pretty different from the original, but also fairly similar in a lot of ways. It's focused a bit more on verticality, and it's going to have a lot more interplay where you can jump from building to building. But we'll showcase that one a little bit later, because right now what I'd like to do is start out by making some changes to Big Windmill, because I think this is the one that needs the least amount of work. Unlike the other two where they got completely redone from the ground up, this one I think mostly just needs a couple of structural changes. Not even structural changes, mostly changes to the enemy placement, where I think the layout of the stage is a lot stronger than the other two. So I don't think it really needs a whole ton of changes, at least not nearly as many. Man, I got a new monitor for Black Friday, and let me tell you, it is so nice. Like, it makes this game look really pretty. The colors are just so much more like vibrant and rich, and that applies to any game I have on this thing. But like, everything just looks so much more crispy. Let's see. And I'm seeing why I didn't really feel the need to change this one all too much. It still feels pretty good structurally. There's a lot of bouncing around, a lot of freedom with how you can move vertically. Oh, Ethan's leaving. Damn. Really can't stick around for much. I didn't mean to hit escape there, so let's just rework our way back up to the top. But yeah, I think a lot of this level is still pretty strong. This is a little pattern I've noticed when I'm developing a new world, is that typically the first level will be solid, the second one will be a little bit weaker, and then the third stage is like easily the most fun level. And that's held true up till now. Both first world, second world, and third world, at least in my opinion, I think all of those are typically the best ones. So the ones that are gonna get the most work done to them is the second levels usually. But this one's got a lot of interesting interplay with how you go upwards. There's a lot of freedom with how you want to do it. There's pretty cool skips. There's 2 sections in particular that I want to rework. For one, I don't know how you fell off of that. Let's see. I think this part's pretty strong. We'll do some playtesting on all these before I decide anything official. I think the Gunther Tower is a cool section, but I'll probably want to swap one of these out for something else to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't really like this enemy setup here. It's a little bit more fun with the way that Steve Strikes work now, but it's kind of just a clustered mess, which either requires you to use like detonator skips or lining up the Steves, and it's just kind of messy. I don't know. I don't think it's really all that satisfying. And this section is also going to need a rework, just thanks to how Gunther's bullets work now and how they break on collision. This slap mode kind of doesn't really add anything. Generally, I think the second half of the level is what needs the most changes. But I want to make sure that the changes I make keep this skip intact, where you can ride the windmill blades up, because I think that's one of the cooler parts of the whole level. This I want to rework. I'm going to probably move this jump to be a bit further back, because I've seen a lot of players just sort of walk off because it is very sudden after the incline, so that doesn't really work all that well. Oh, that's the wrong type of launcher. I'll have to... Okay. Surprised I never noticed that was the wrong launcher, so I'll have to fix that for sure. This section, I just feel has always been a little bit underutilized. It's cool looking, but it kind of doesn't really do a whole lot. And then this section up here is okay, but I think it could be more interesting than how it currently is. I think that like the big gap down the middle is a cool concept, but there's not really a whole lot of threat with it, especially because usually by the time the bouncer gets to you, you don't really have to worry about him. Yeah. So those are the things we're gonna want to tweak. You don't know how annoying that launcher was? Yeah, I didn't even know that was the wrong one. So you're right, I did not know. Alright, let's go ahead and start making our adjustments. Make sure cube grid's aligned. Yeah, looks correct. Here we go. Okay, so first things first, I think we're just gonna go ahead and shift this over a bit. Gonna try to move it with this thing in the way, with the windmill blades in the way. Okay, so first, here into you. We'll grab a trampoline. No, that's interactable, not props. Yeah. And then BP trampoline right there. And I'm thinking that we do something like this, and then just make the gap something like that. Alright, before I forget, let's go to post-process. Fix that pink spot next to Slapmo and Gunther platform. That's been fixed for a while. If it's like on the underside, that one's been fixed. Inside the windmill. Which launcher? Like around which part of the stage specifically? We're gonna go to materials, and we're going to add the cell shader. There we go. And that will just help us see these, so we have an easier time doing retexturing when we're reworking the geometry. Ah. Yeah, okay, that's good. I think it's a bit of a large jump, but it's pretty forgiving, and you can do this just to make it a little bit easier. And I think that the air strafing around the Gunther who's shooting at you is a fun little challenge. The one I pointed out a long time ago. But yeah, that spot has been fixed. Okay. You are getting scrapped. I don't know how much you even added to the level. I think it's kind of cool, like, in the speedrun, where you save the detonator bird until later on, and then you get him with a precise snipe. Well, not even a precise snipe, but with a shot from up top. I think that's what that adds to the level is cool, but for a regular stage run-through, he doesn't really add much, so I think we'll keep an enemy down here, but we'll just make them a different one so that they're a little bit more engaging to deal with. I think this cuboid section's good, but it's a little bit it's not that interesting. Let's try a Jimmy right here, just see if that does anything interesting. And then what do we want to do up here, guys? What do we want to do? Maybe a Gunther. No, we use Gunthers everywhere. Perhaps a Steve of some sort? A Steve Strikington? We could try maybe put a Steve here. Yeah, we can just try some stuff. No need to be so finicky about getting it right on the first try. It's always a game of adjustment. And while we're in adjustments, what do we want to do to this Gunther tower to make it a little bit more interesting? Because I think it's fun, but you kind of just do the same thing 3 times without any real escalation to it. Let's see. So I don't know if a gem would really work. I think part of what makes the section fun, though, is that they all have low health. So how do we change this up and make it more engaging? Maybe we could add some more geometry to it, like you have to weave in between some different geometry. That could also give you some cover that you could dodge around while you're scaling your way up. So that could be pretty fun. That could be good. We could give that a shot. Okay, yeah, let's screw around with that a little bit. Okay, so this one should be normal. This one I'm thinking we have a small obstacle, and then the next one we have a larger obstacle. So we could try something like this. Don't know if this will make a difference, but, you know, like I said, nothing's committal. Just trying some stuff out. Got a little field goal there. Maybe it'd be fun to swerve through, put a gloob in there. Okay, so it's too low to actually make an impact. So we just make it a little higher. Yeah, okay. It's not obtrusive. It's not really very difficult to actually go through. But I think it adds a little bit more. It could add a little bit extra flow to the level, and at least is different. Hey, welcome back, Ethan. Okay, yes, we got this little doodad here, that little doohickey, and then we'll add another one right here. And this one we could make pretty simple. Maybe do the same thing, but like a little bit thinner. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, no, it's a little cactus shape. And this is something I should clarify, is that, so in the original version of the stage, there's just a lot of, like, holes everywhere, which is fine. I don't think that's a problem, but I want to make it a little bit visually stronger by, like, adding little bits of scaffolding here and there, especially to the underside of things, because I don't think the structure of the level really needs a whole lot of changing. Oh, I'm gonna need to rework you a little bit. But I think that would be just, like, a nice visual detail. Also helps explain why there's holes everywhere, instead of there just being holes everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like that. Makes it at least feel a little bit more dynamic than just doing the same thing. That's one of the cardinal rules I try to set for myself, is to not just have players repeat the same thing over and over. If I ever do the same challenge twice, I want to at least do like some sort of a subtle escalation to it the second time. You know, make it more interesting. Okay. Okay, the Jimmy doesn't really contribute a lot there, because you can just sort of head at him from a straight-on direction, so there's not really any conflict. The Steve there's also not really doing anything, because you can just shoot him off instantly from the air. Okay. Yeah, so the Jimmy doesn't really do anything. I think we could probably keep it as a Gunther. It'll just move him up forwards a bit more, so he's more active in the stage layout. Let's see, because the idea here is that you're going to be approaching this from the sky, and a lot of the enemies don't really have a good means of attacking you from the air. I guess the Slimo works okay for now, but he's still pretty easy to deal with without much consequence. Well, I guess this is the second level. Maybe just being able to shoot him off a cliff. Yeah, now that I think about it, that moment of being able to blast him off the cliff, which is something that a lot of players I expect will probably do, this is just a kind of a fun moment to have happen, so yeah, I think that's worth keeping. It might not be the most, like, balanced or whatever, but I think that's the fun factor it adds is pretty strong. This section I think is cool. Yeah, I like that bit. Whoops. I'm too used to my muscle memory maybe jump early there. Okay, now this section definitely needs some changes, but no, I'm jumping around too much, I'm getting distracted. Although I also did just notice, speaking of getting distracted, but I noticed that these are not the right texture. There we go. Yeah, that should be regular grass. Yeah. So now you can see the darkness difference between that and the slopes. Yeah. Okay, but the thing I was planning on working on is this section. You don't even know how to change it because it's perfect. Just move that second Sheila for real. Which Sheila? The because we've got the chat makes it confusing. This is Sheila A and this is Sheila B. Because I could see Sheila B going. But I like what it adds, because you gotta approach. Because otherwise you could, I mean, I guess... Now I'm thinking. Because if she's there, it forces you to approach, and that's kind of cool. But if she's not there, you can get a cool, like, snipe from this angle. which is also really cool. I'm thinking. Either way, I definitely could see working. And I guess I am having her be there and there is a little bit overexposed of the end of having her. So maybe I could just we'll see. We'll get back to that rework. Let's see what the gut there. Okay. Black screen. Void is back. Miss the dark. Oh. Let me turn the other one then. Back on then. Sometimes that happens. Why are you streaming while I'm at school? I'm gonna cook you in a soup. Alright, well don't do that. But these have just been the times that are convenient for me. I'll be streaming at very different times once the break hits. Don't you worry. Okay. So we got this combat encounter. And this one kinda stinks. I don't really like it. I think we're just gonna give it a fundamental like overhaul. Okay. So we haven't used a Jimmy yet in this level. So let's put a Jimmy here. Give him a little chance to flourish as like a door blocker. And he'll be there like constantly harassing and haranguing you while you're trying to beat the rest of the level or get the rest of the section, which is where he really excels. He's best used in that kind of context. Okay. So that works well. Or should work well. We'll do our testing. Now what do we want to do for the rest of this section? I think a Slapmo there would be good. And probably no more than one melee enemy at the same time. I think having more than one melee enemy in the same combat arena is not super fun to deal with. So let's try you there, then a Gunther here. Let's just see how that shakes out. Okay. Whoops. I slid right off. Damn, okay, I need to revert that change or tweak that a little bit. Something that I have not explained yet is that I gave the detonator a boost to how much vertical height you get off of it. That might be a little much. Yeah, that might be a little bit much. Or maybe we keep it like that because it's funny. I don't know. Well, that's another thing to be keeping an eye out for. But I think this little encounter needs something extra. It needs a little je ne sais quoi. Perhaps a cube man. So we wrap our way up. So maybe we do something like that, you know? Get on the ground. That's cool. It's a fun solution to that. Oh, his bombs keep his shots keep getting deleted on the slope. Yeah, that is a really tricky Sheila placement. I quite like that one. Now, I keep jumping way too early. My muscle memory. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't really like how she's placed there. More so because you have to get super close. Let's just try making her a lot closer first and see if that helps mitigate things. Although, again, I don't really want to have two Sheilas this close to each other. Although, let's move you forwards a little bit so you can more easily get in the shield breaking range. I think maybe do this. Something like that. Yeah, that just feels a little bit more comfortable to pull off. That's fun. I like that bit, being able to strafe around the bullet. Yeah, because see, the Sheila there does prevent you from just being able to entirely cheese that obstacle, which I think is pretty fun. The bouncer here kind of doesn't do anything. I don't really like him being there. Slapmo Anywhere is good. Has the up and up rework changed since? It's been made a little bit smaller, just because I felt like there were too many spots of just large dead air. And I've added in a couple extra trampolines and launchers here and there, just so you can use it more effectively as a grapple point. So that way the routing for the speedrun should still be more interesting. Because it's one thing to make a level that's just like a decent little run and gun stage, another to make it also fun to speedrun. I keep jumping early. Okay, yeah. So this section's all right. I don't know if I really need to move that Sheila there. I do think she's fairly additive. Because it does just prevent you from getting the quick kill. Although maybe the challenge is that you could avoid having to do that dodge if you can, get the sniper shot immediately. So you don't really have a whole lot of time before you have to dodge at least once. So be predictive. Maybe. Not sold on that either direction yet. We're getting rid of you. You're not doing anything here. Let's see, we're on slope, so Steve wouldn't really be very effective. Let's see, we could try a Slapmo would be interesting, and then if we put another enemy here, then that would force you to go back and forth throughout the section a little bit more instead of the current state of it. Let's try a Jimmy. Jimmy might be interesting, because you're going up these slopes and he's, maybe shooting down both sides. He's picking up what I'm putting down here. Whoops, just slid right off there. Okay, well, he's so far back that he can't actually see me, and all of his shots just go straight into the floor. So let's pull him up a little. Whoop. No, it's because he's facing us down, so there's not really any spots for his shots to go. Okay, so that doesn't really work that well. Let's try a Cube Man. Cuboid might be good there, because his will go through the walls, which isn't an inconsistent behavior. Ooh, yeah, it makes it really narrow. Maybe I'll move him more over to one side, so that way there's a bit of an easier time to dodge his shots, perhaps, per maybe. I'm just thinking this through. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, okay. No, I like that. And then the Slapmo there does a lot more than the Bouncer does, because the non-lethal bounce doesn't do anything. It'll just send you back down this way. So at least having a little bit of danger there works. Yeah, don't worry, as I was saying, I don't think this level really needs a whole lot of tweaking. Just barely made it up. Nice. Okay, I do want to slightly rework this section here. Well, the one thing I want to do is just pull this roof back a little bit, because I've seen people bonking their heads on that. It does seem a little obnoxious. Is the black screen still happening? I should have a display capture on, right? Oh, I don't. Oh. That's annoying. There we go. I'll just have this one on. I'll just crop that up so you're not seeing all my amounts of unread Discord messages. Okay, yeah. I really don't know what causes the... Actually, no, I do know what causes that. It happens whenever I save things. When I save changes. It's very annoying. Shouldn't be an issue once I get my, once I get a second monitor set up, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. That's the wrong one. Is it building exterior? No, that's red. Dark wallpaper? Yeah, there we go. And then this will be set to building exterior. There we are. Okay, should give the player just that tiny little bit of extra breathing room to make that more comfortable. And the way that looks slightly bothers me, so we're gonna fix that. There we go. So we swerve on through. Not bonking our head this time. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna rework this encounter up here. So the bouncer over here he's kind of interesting if you're doing a skip and then you kill the Slapmo from up here. He kind of proposes a threat, but otherwise he's set up in this area where he's supposed to be able to bounce you around, but he just doesn't do anything. So let's try pulling him forwards a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that forces you to engage with him more. I don't know if I love the idea of him just running off. That kind of seems like it would be pretty annoying to deal with. Maybe we don't keep the melee guys, because that's... I feel like them... Yeah, them running away would be more... Running and falling off of this into this hole here would be much more obnoxious than it would be fun. Yeah. Nah. Sorry, Bounce Man. Yeah, outta here. Put a Jimmy there, though. We keep the Steve. I think the Steve works fairly well. And you're seeing why I've been focusing more on projectile enemies, because I'm realizing that with all the guys I've just introduced in the first world, options are kind of limited. Gotta go see ya. Well, thanks for stopping in, Ethan. Appreciate you being here. Let's try another cube. Cuboidus. Are you embedded in the floor? I even noticed that some of the Steves, their projectiles on their self-detonations don't go off. I'm not really sure why. That's definitely a bug I'll have to look into. My theory is that sometimes they just, like, spawn them in the floor. Yeah, there I think it happened because they were intersecting with the cuboid cube, which is fine. Okay. Let's give this this revamp a little playthrough. I think it's probably already in a pretty good spot. As I've said before, I think this level is pretty strong already. Oh, Lamau. It doesn't really need a whole lot of tweaking in the first place. That needs a tweak. Because the positioning of these two means that if you approach from this angle, then the Sheila is gonna be blocking Gunther's bullets. Alright, let's try that section one more time. Current game location. Another thing that I want to do is just some generalized weaponry works. Mostly to nerf the classic and the double barrel a little bit, because they're pretty strong, as is. I would say too strong, where they're pretty reliable in a lot of situations. The fling bomb needs some buffs pretty bad. Cool concept, fun to use, but it's just not really all that powerful, so not a whole lot of reason to use it practically a lot of the time. One idea I've been toying around with that I'm not super sure on is what I'm calling tentatively finisher bonuses. And these would be like little bonuses you get for killing enemies with certain weapons. And I think it's kind of a cool concept. Main thing that I worry about with it is just that it would add an extra mechanic and an extra layer to a game that's already pretty mechanically dense. So I'm kind of split on it. Not super sure if I would want to do it or not. We'll see. So we gotta don't put them next to the edge. What? Because you don't want to knock them back into it. I mean, that's part of the challenge. Is you gotta not knock them in. And if you do, then you can hit them with a little midair snipe. Why shouldn't I put them near the edges? I do want to maybe shorten the depth of this pit, although it is kind of excessively deep and excessively punishing as it currently is. Let's do that. Now I think we can even go a bit shallower on that. Whoops, spun myself in a wall. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, doesn't feel quite as obnoxious if something falls in there, which means we could probably bring back a bouncer. Because then this would be a punishment for falling in, but not nearly as harsh of one. Yeah. They fall into the abyss and the run is ruined. Yeah, that is certainly a problem. I mean, I think that's fine, just being an obstacle. Although I guess, because that's the thing with the bouncers. The bouncer is kind of inconsistent, where he sometimes falls in and sometimes doesn't. But I'm pretty satisfied with how this is. I think it fixes up a couple of the weirdnesses here and there. For a stage, I don't think really needs a whole ton of changes. So it keeps the fun stuff intact without keeps the fun elements intact without stepping on the toes of the original design. Yeah, I think that'll do it for now. We can come back to it and do some reworks if I really want to. Which I'm sure I'll do some more tweaks and changes, but for now I just wanted to do a brief preview of the overhaul, I guess. Okay, set that to dark wallpaper. There we go. So probably set this to wallpaper. Then this will be ceiling purple. I know it's not purple, but it used to be purple. Okay, then we're gonna grab these sections here, and then color all that in with dark wallpaper. This part of the wall will be regular wallpaper. No. Building exterior, there we are. And then we'll also want to texture these guys, yeah. I'll come back to that later, actually, because I want to make a custom, like, scaffold texture. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over to 3 buildings revamp. Let's start by just taking a look at what we got so far. So it starts out pretty similarly to the original, where you boost into that and it lets you pick a direction. And I think that's pretty fun. Gives you a lot of options right from the beginning, and it gives you a burst of speed. And then each building is more big windmill-like in structure, where they're sort of open-ended. You have more freedom to move through it as you want. And there's a lot of connective tissue where you can go from building to building, which I think should make the level stick out a lot, give it a lot of a unique identity. Like you can walk up here like this, or if you're feeling speedy, you can do a dash jump over here, get your way up top like that, and then you can either use this booster to go into that big section here, or if you line it up right, then you can boost in here and then use an uppercut to basically get straight up to the roof of this one, and then you can choose how you want to work your way down through here, and you can exit through this section to get to the main building through this door. A lot of freedom in how you want to approach it. And then it brings in a lot of those open-ended sort of big windmill-esque level design to the structure of the stage, to make it feel more engaging, less cramped, more open-ended, more free-flowing. That's the idea. Do you know the slap mode that I throw off through a small hole with a perfect lineup? You can make the hole bigger. I could do that, sure. This looks way more open? Yeah, it's way more open. That was kind of the problem with the original iteration of 3 buildings, is that each building was super limited in how you could actually approach it, and these versions are a lot more open. So it takes the best elements of Big Windmill and 3 buildings, and it's trying to mash them together. Building looks fun now? That's the hope. That is the hope. But before I forget, which hole is it? Is it this Slapmo here? This guy? Is it which hole is it? Type 1 if it's this one, 2 if it's this one, 3 if it's that one. Embraces the vertical movement of World 1. Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, so just say 1, 2, or 3 for whichever hole it is. 1. Okay. So let's see. So you knock in. How do you do this? Where do you send him? Is it like from here? Like you shoot him and then he falls into this hole, and then you go straight down? Or do you? Because I could make it a little bigger. That's no skin off my nose. The hole at the top left. Right here? You shoot him through here? That's what you do? Oh. Okay. So is it? I'm assuming you mean you want this hole bit to be a bit bigger. I can do that, sure. Something like that. Shoot. Wow. Oh, he slid off. Alright, hope that helps. Okay, back to it. So, I was thinking about doing enemy layouts, but I want to start out by just figuring out the core, like, space of this stage first, before worrying too much about what's gonna go where. Shit, I'm bad at aiming. Yeah, because I think ideally probably the best route would have you go through like this, up, down, all around. You know, up and down and all around. And these two buildings, layout-wise, are pretty good. I did a bunch of work on this last week, just fooling around with different layouts. Trying to see what felt good, and then settling on these. Okay, well that was pretty bad. Oh shit, we got the Pizza Tower music on. Yeah, these levels are, these parts are very flowy. Cool thing you can do here, hit you with one of these, you know? Little gimme action. And that's something I do think that some of the more recent levels I've made are kind of missing, is I was kind of just not putting these guys in, because I had the thought process that the Jebs, you know, these jellyfish bros, that these were just kind of the World 1 gimmick, but they're just fun to use. Like, being able to do this shit is just cool. And I think that some of the other levels are just kind of missing that. Not that I'm too sure if there's really a good place to put them anywhere, because World 2, you don't really need them, because you can just grapple onto the death plane instead. And World 3 is very inside and pretty claustrophobic in its stage layouts. So I don't know if it's really necessary, but World 4 for sure, they will definitely get more advantage, because World 4 is going to be very vertical. I think the buildings will have their own themes like in the original. It'll be, yeah, basically. I want to take the original concepts of the buildings and flesh them out a little bit. Like, the idea was one of them was like a Steve security tower, and another one was like a sloped arena, and the other one was just sort of like a main casino building. So this will be a main casino building. I'm thinking this will be a Steve Strike like security building, so I'll make a custom security sign sprite for it. And this one, I'm not super sure what I'll do with this one. It might also just be general casino-y, but it'll have some sort of element. Maybe it'll be under construction or something. Like, it'll be more obviously under construction. So like we could have like some caution tape or something set up to make it more unique. But yeah, good question. I do want to do that. All right, let's add a little ledge here. I'm thinking. Let's try just like that. And this is mostly as like a landing platform for this. Yeah, maybe move that up a little bit higher, so you like smoothly just barely glide on top of it. Okay, and then what if you approach it head on? Nah, then you just sort of slide off. Okay. Let's try moving that one down. Yeah, that feels good. That feels really nice. Okay, and then we'll extend this ledge across all of these sections. There we go. Oh, look at that! Didn't even plan for that, but now it's a perfect little hat for this. Nice. Okay. So I'm liking that. I'm skipping the song. Yeah, Dicey Dungeons, baby. Let's go. So now you can land on this section here, which gives you even more different approaches for how you want to go through the level. Okay, so yeah, we've got all these ledges set up from just other sections. We know this is where we want the player to be able to approach this from. Okay. I'm thinking we have like a little dangerous leap here. Not that dangerous, but, you know, maybe it'll feel dangerous. And then we'll put down a trampoline right here. So you boost over, bounce off this guy, and that'll not give you enough height to get up here. But it will give you enough height to get up here. Try something like that. So we'll go, boom. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty coolio. Okay, okay. So we can definitely have something interesting up here, although I think I will raise this by 1. Oh, accidentally making a new cube grid output. Do that sometimes. Let's just do it like that. There we go. Oops, that's a little too wide there. There we are. Okay, and then we'll try that one more time. Just do a little wraparound jump. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then we'll do, I think, a little slope section here. Or maybe we just have a wraparound into another trampoline. I'm really curious how this will shake out ratting-wise. I think it should be a lot of fun with how just open-ended and how broad the different directions you can take are. We got a lot of vertical ground left to cover. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it might be good to do a section kind of similar to one we did in Big Windmill, but we're gonna make it a little bit more intense than how it was. So what I'm thinking is that we'll go up to a little section here, and then we'll have to bounce left and right upwards for a bit, like jumping back and forth between different sloped ledges. I think that should be pretty fun. Should have a lot of cool movement, a lot of cool movement potential. There we go. Then we'll extend this out, and this will be the start of our little bouncy section. Are you planning on having a 5th world, or have you not thought about it yet? There will be a 5th world, but the 5th one will be like, I guess more of like a finale world that'll combine all of the level themes into one. I'm not sure if that's going to be like one final level or a collection of final levels. Right now I'm leaning towards a collection of final levels, because I think that there's a lot of ground to cover when fusing all of the world gimmicks together, and that should be a really fun world, so I think it might be a bit of a missed opportunity if I take that fusion of all of the game's mechanics into one and only make one level out of it. So most likely that'll be a collection of levels. So there will be 5 worlds, ideally. Also, by the way, did you see how smoothly that lined up? That was just buttery smooth. That was just excellent. So we just do this. Ooh, that is nice. Return of Game Boy Seth. Well, I've been Game Boy Seth for quite the time now. Sophie Master 892. This is the new thing. And as I can tell by the fact that my stream numbers have been much lower than normal, everybody sure loves this gimmick. Okay, so let's start by extending this out. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Yep. Alright, then we'll do another extension there. Then slope it out a little. So you should be able to just jump that. Okay, so you cannot just jump. You might, well, actually, let's not say anything definitive. You might be able to make it with just a normal jump, but ideally this is a, required boost jump. Okay, no, you can make it. But it's more comfortable for sure with one of these, which I think is fun. I like these kinds of jumps a lot, where you jump into a slope with a boost and then it pushes you up and over. This feels very, very kinetic, very flowy. Okay, so I've got an idea, and I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I think if I can get it working, it would be really, really, really fun. And I haven't used this a ton, but I've already used it once in this level, and if I double down on that a little bit, then that could really help give this level more of a unique, strong identity to it. Which already it's shaping up to have a much stronger identity than it had before. Here's what I'm thinking. Something like this, you know, a little bit of that action, a little bit of double boost, you know. You gotta steer into the booster to make your way up to the top. You know what I'm saying? That feels pretty good. Do you think I have any post-game challenges like extra levels or time trial stuff? Well, time trials are pretty baked into the game already with the Voltaic Pluses. And, you know, certain ranks just requiring you to get certain times. But I like the idea of doing... and don't take this as me saying this will be in the game. A lot of this is going to be dependent on just how much time I have to add stuff once I get closer to the end of development. Oops, missed the guy there. Yeah, that feels really fun. I like that a lot. Actually, I think I've got a better idea. But yeah, I want to do like challenge levels if I have the you know, if I have the time and enough strong ideas for it. So like maybe taking one level from a world and then just making a more difficult version of it. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. And I want to do also just some bonus stages here and there. Just bonus stages, little ones that have either an interesting gimmick or combination of gimmicks, and those would just be fun to do. And some of that could also be things that I do post game launch as well. Like it'd be fun, I think, to come back after a while, or maybe not even a while, but just to do some bonus challenge stages or something. And if the game does well, then I would certainly want to do some updates. That is for sure. Okay, I wonder if you guys can see the vision here, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, you know? Because if you hit this, if you don't hit that, then you get that skip. But if you do hit it, then you get up here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Perhaps a gauntlet where you try to complete all levels in a row. That is certainly something. I'm not against that. Earlier on in development, I thought about doing full game rankings. And again, this is something that probably will not be in the game right at launch. But I think it's a fun concept, even if it is truly masochistic of me. Or sadistic. Well, masochistic, because I'd have to clear it. A bit of both. But the idea would be that you'd have full game rankings. And that would include the combo meter, which would carry over from level to level. So you could get a Voltaic Plus for beating the whole game while keeping the combo going the whole game. And that is truly a horrifically evil concept. And it kind of rules. It does kind of rule. But again, just straight up evil. Yeah, it's good. I'm up for that. Hey, good luck. It would certainly be something. Maybe I could even try to get something like that running for this demo. What is the collision on slopes with the cube grid sometimes jank out? That's kind of the biggest reason I'd like to learn more efficient methods or better methods of level creation outside of cube grid. For one, it's to get my mesh count down or get my model count, poly count, whatever, XYZs. But also because slopes and some other collision bits can be a little fucky. Cube grid is still really good for like laying out levels, but it'll definitely open up some options once I branch out from using it. Pick up some other tools. Okay, why is the slope doing this? If I make it longer. Okay, now I just bash my head on it. Yeah, weird and janky. Voltaic Plus if you get Voltaic Plus on the gauntlet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that the combo... You'd have to keep the combo meter going for every level in the game. Which is certainly a challenge, to say the least. Or would be a challenge. Feels like some very Edmund McMillan type, like, absurdity. Like, I know he's got... Isn't there one for beating all of... Like, an achievement for beating all of Super Meat Boy without dying once? That is actually just evil. That's sadistic. You don't put that in your game unless you've got something evil about you. You know, you just like hurting people. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Actually, you know what? No, this works. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Oh, you know what? You know what? Here's an idea. Here's a concept. Here's a vision. Are you seeing the vision? If we do something like this, we could have something like a kind of a callback to the beginning portion of Big Windmill, where you like swerve your way in between pillars. Because that's an idea that's pretty cool, but doesn't really get used a whole lot now. I mean, I guess we actually use it a little bit now, more in Big Windmill now, and we'll use it here too. So it should feel more fleshed out. Maybe the arena levels as well. Oh, I didn't even think about the arena levels. Those are evil. Oh, I just thought of something terrible. Every single level in the game, on unreasonable difficulty, get a Voltaic Plus on that. That is, like, actually horrific, conceptually. Like, that would take, I mean, probably 40 minutes at least? That's like a 40-minute run that's, like, perfectly flawless. Maybe not 40 minutes, I guess we'll see how long everything else shakes out to be. If you're good enough, I guess maybe it wouldn't take you that long, but a successful attempt, like at bare minimum 30 minutes for a full successful attempt, if you're good at the runs, if you're good at everything, on unreasonable difficulty, don't get hit a single time. That's nuts. That's insane. That's foul and repugnant. And I might do it because it sounds awesome. Okay, so let's add a platform here. Make it a bit thinner. Let's add a little blockade here. This will be more scaffolding. Blanc. Perfect. It is about as in the way as it can be. I just noticed that my playlist is looping. I'll have to reset it briefly. Yeah, stop it. I'm worrying too much about aesthetics right now. Not the point. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you kind of just get that one angle and then line it up. So you just make it a little tighter. Okay. Because that gives you a wider and then narrower entrance. Yeah, it'd probably work better if you have to swerve a little bit. Something like this. So you gotta, like, fit through there. You gotta actually swerve a little. Although I guess you could still, if you take your time to line it up, you can still just, like, whew. It's a little more tight, though. More interesting than how it was. And you can do that. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. I still think it will take plus an unreasonable Big Windmill. It's unreasonable Voltaic Plus is, like, actually, like, dastardly. It's kind of a fucked up challenge. It's really fun. I really enjoy going for it myself, but it's hard. It is very hard. Which I like, because this is not going to be a very long game, and I want to make sure that there's always... I like having games where it feels like I can always get better and better at it, and there's always something else to go for. So I like having my own game provide a bit of that, too. Like, I love coming back to Kingdom Hearts 2 every once in a while, just to try the next level up of difficulty. Like, first time I played around, I beat it on the normal difficulty. Then I tried the hardest difficulty the next time, and then I came back and did all the super bosses on the highest difficulty. And if I ever truly feel like if I ever lose my mind, then I can attempt level 1, which is playing the hardest difficulty, but you do not level up at all. Which, that one is actually just, like... I mean, it's about as evil as it sounds like it is. Actually, I got an idea. I got a cool idea, as a matter of fact. Whoops. Damn, I think this building is gonna be fun as hell. This is just a platforming challenge. Yes, it'll be more than that when I add enemies, but right now this is literally just platforming. Ooh, that could be good. That's a challenge we haven't done yet. Is a wraparound. Something like that, you know? You gotta, like, wrap around. Might be interesting, might be difficult to telegraph, if anything. But I think I could execute... If I could execute that well, I think that would be a really fun, unique little twist on the formula. And I'll do this as difficulty illusion. And that's a concept I kind of want to introduce more into my levels, is things that look like they're difficult or look like obstacles that aren't really in the way, as a way of making it feel like there's more danger than there is, which just kind of keeps you more excited, makes the levels feel more fun without making it more artificially difficult. And this could be a good way to do that, is like adding these gaps here and there where they're really not in the way at all, but they seem like they are. Yeah, I like that. I'll definitely need to do some form of communication for this, though, so it doesn't seem just completely, you know, random. Okay, we still got a decent ways to go, but this is turning out very well. I'm liking this a lot. Okay, so you wrap around, and then I think we've had a lot of platforming sections, so if we just sort of focus a section to be more dedicated for pure combat, that should keep the pacing up and the variety up, without feeling like we're just sort of falling into doing the same thing over and over. We can cut some holes in that later. Then maybe a booster up here. And then turn this into a platform. Okay, I've got an idea. I've got a cool idea. So we could have like a launcher up here, and then something kind of similar to the Gunther Tower where you like spiral upwards perhaps, and then land on a big middle platform, or maybe that could even take you all the way up to the roof, and then that's when you fight the new boss guy, who I haven't coded yet, but I've figured out his name and his gimmick. I'll have a design ready for him fairly soon. I'm still kind of trying to get it right, but his name is Card Counter, and he throws out big playing cards that are like large and low to the ground, and they'll basically glide across the ground like fast cuboid attacks, so you have to jump over those to progress. And I think that'll be very, very fun to work around. I do need to get ready for another round of play testing, for sure, because there's a lot of levels that I haven't really watched anybody play. There's only I've really gone out to the patrons. Although part of that's just going to be when I do the like early not really launch of the game, ideally about a month out from release, or from the planned release date, and that'll be like given out to not just the patrons, but I'll also give that to the people who won the speedrun contest and just others, like for playtesting purposes. Okay, so anyways, what I was thinking is a little bit something like this. Actually, I don't really need to go to that platform, but I guess we can keep it there. So we'd have like thing here, thing here, thing here, so it's like a little bit more precise than some of the other challenges, but it uses some fun mid-air momentum movement. That could be fun. Not really a challenge we've done anywhere else before. Right, so let's just do a little trial and error to line this all up. Okay, and you know what I can even do? I can just scale these guys up a little bit. You know, make it a little more forgiving. Then something like this, you know. And then I'm thinking we'll put some obstacles here and there to make this section more engaging. You know, some sticks and stuff you gotta weave through, some sticks and stones that may break your bones. Okay, so we go boom, boom, What? What? Yeah, and then you're up on the roof. Speaking of the roof, let's go ahead and install that son of a gun in. Then cut out a decently sized hole here. And add a little slope there to make the landing a bit more forgiving. Yeah, that lines up really nicely. Fun little set piece too to lead up to the boss. Yeah, I like that, I like that. Did I hear free stuff? You did hear free stuff. I mean, you won the... You were a winner of the contest. So you get... I mean, you're getting the game for free anyways. You're just also getting it early. So you'll... you and the other winners get the game. You'll get a copy when it comes out, but also access to the final test build. So the pre-launch build. And that'll be for, like, making sure there's not any major bugs, if there's, like, some level jank that needs fixing, that sort of stuff. Which hopefully shouldn't be much of a problem. I think the main thing is going to be level design tweaking, because for the most part, the game is not super buggy at this point, not quite as janky. At least not, well, not as buggy. It's still very janky. That is for sure. Okay, so let's put our hazards in here now. Our hazard course. Like Half-Life. I've been in a Half-Life mood recently. I've been thinking about going and doing another playthrough of Half-Life 1, which I really don't need to do. I've played Half-Life 1 400 billion times. But just, like, going from that whole game, like, starting from when you exit the explosion after the resonance cascade happens, and you're just... Everything from there up till then is just such, like, a fun, well-paced, well-structured adventure. Such a fun-ass game. I guess I could also play Half-Life 2, because I know they did the anniversary update for that. I didn't really pay attention to what that changed. Oh god, it burns. Greetings. Welcome, Sandwich Made of Zombies. I feel like I haven't seen you here in a while. It's good to have you back. Although I feel like every week feels like it's been a while. So maybe it hasn't been as long as it feels like. Oh, shoot, I missed. Let's move you up a little bit. Yeah, that feels really fun. Feels natural. Alright, and then we'll do the boss fight up there. Okay, let's just move through everything, just see how it feels to use as, like, platforming. And then, after that, then we'll go through... I've been on fire? Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully you're not on fire anymore. Yeah, and we'll go through and start adding in the enemies. Figure out some fun layouts. Ooh, that's a fun one. I like that. That's a cool skip. Yeah, that one's fun too. And then you could work your way up to the roof, or all the way down. Then let's head back up through here. Might move that one over a little bit, so you don't have to go as far out of your way to hit it. Shit. Oh, but that's so smooth, though. I bet you could do that in, like, one big, smooth motion. Oh, yeah, this is good. This is good. This is fun. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a whole heck of a lot. Oh, God. If you lose your tempo here, it's kind of hard to get back on. If anything is going to need adjusting, it's probably going to be this section. I could see this being kind of difficult for some people to maneuver with. I could just also remove that little roof bit there, so it's a little more forgiving in case you don't get the momentum and you have to bounce on it multiple times. It's like if we just sort of stop on it, yeah, you still get upwards. Okay. Yeah, feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and start with the Steve Strike Security Tower. It's pretty self-explanatory. Put a Steve there. Maybe a Slapamo right here. Do you put him in front of the gap, maybe? You know? Just let you completely annihilate this poor fool? And then specifically, I want to put a Gunther right here and then not have anything else there. We could put him right here. So he's like kind of an interesting obstacle while you're going up here. So like, wait, he can't see me. I could just pull him really far forwards. Can you shoot me? You can shoot me. Yeah, but my idea is that you could do something like that, which is I think that'd be a fun route to take. Yeah, okay. And then, do I want to do anything around the sides? I think probably not, because the idea is that this is just a slower route that you can take. It's easier to follow and will have more more goobs on it. So the little little floaty slime things. So I'm thinking that this is a change actually I've been wanting to do across more areas of the game, is to make routes that are faster and a little harder, but they don't have as many collectibles on them. So that way there's still incentive to potentially take the slower routes at some points, instead of just taking the absolute straight line fastest path. But that is a dilemma for another day. Yeah. Actually, you know what? We'll try... this is something that I did on the original version of the stage that I think could be interesting to experiment with again. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Having these little, like, bits on the roof to make it feel more roof-esque, roof-like. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Oh, that is misaligned. Lamau. Okay, and that's a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. And then we can just grab this last section, line it up like that, and it's misaligned again. There we go. Oh, it's a... Okay, I did it on 2 again, so it's the wrong cube grid output. Don't worry what that means. I made a little silly oops. There we go. Alright. Then I got these, which I should be able to walk on. No. Okay, you do have to jump up to them. Okay, so let's do a Jimmy right here. We'll do a cuboid right here. And then harassing you will be a bouncer right here. Ah, damn. These projectiles are deceptively tricky to dodge around. Okay, well, speaking of deceptively tricky, I'm getting juked out by this ding-dang jellyfish. Oh wait, this is the Steve Strike security, so I think we could probably also afford to put a Stevie boy right there. And putting him on an elevation difference is actually an interesting wrinkle, because what that does is that it does ensure that the elevation of his shrapnel is different. So like right there, you just jump over it. But if he puts one up here and then I'm down here, you can't jump over that anymore. So that does change his dynamic a decent bit, which I like. I like that. On the bus high, howdy, eraser paste. Okay, yeah, this is coming along very nicely. Alright, now we've got this building right here. Okay, first things first, 2 intact. Needs more holes. And you know what? I think we'll even try something a little different here. Let's put a hole right here in the main path. Feeling a little dangerous now. So you could just like walk around if you're lame, or you could jump around if you're cool and awesome. Okay. Concept idea. You got a melee guy here. And melee guys are interesting with these sorts of You okay? I don't think the nav mesh reaches here. Mesh. Or nav... Is there no? There's not a nav mesh. Alright, I guess I would explain it, huh? Wait, do you move? Oh, he doesn't... I didn't even notice that he didn't move. that's funny. Okay, so let me explain what happened there. Let's get a volume. Yeah, nav mesh bounds volume. So what this is it's called a nav mesh, and it basically just dictates where things can move on the map. Everything that it covers is basically calculated. It detects where the meshes are and how it's structured, so it determines how enemies can move through that mesh. And without it, things cannot move. So now that we have that in, Bouncer will use that nav mesh to locate where I am and figure out his best position to reach me. That's a pretty common, like, thing in game development. A nav mesh. Okay, now we got that in. Now Slapmo will actually work. He's got 2 functioning brain cells to rub together. Okay, well, you can kind of just kill him instantly. But the idea here is that he can run around to get you. He can jump around to lose him. Maybe we even do the rare double melee guy. A little bit of this, you know, a little bit of that action. That's pretty fun. And I don't want to do too many sections like that where it's like the best way is absolutely just that. But especially if I do some buffs to the fling bomb, then that should be a little bit less clear cut. Yeah, I think it needs a radius increase, and it needs to have less. It needs to probably have a little bit less air or something or other. Maybe if you shoot enemies that have been knocked up into the air by the fling, it'll do extra damage. That could also make it more powerful. Very stream of consciousness right now. I'm just kind of... There's a lot of things that I want to work on and change and tweak all at once. Okay, so that's a decent little starter section. Let's do a Gunther there as well, just to spice things up a little bit. Okay, we put a cuboid right up here at the top of this slope, or right here. Start right there, and then you bounce on up, bounce on up. Or alternatively, you could just do one of those. Or do one of these. A lot of ways around that. And then you can jump into the main room from here. Bouncer get launched by the fling in the final game. You know what? You're right. I didn't even think about the fact that he is invulnerable to other types of knockback, but he's not. The fling does still affect him. That might be an interesting extra thing, is that, like, some enemies cannot be launched normally, but the fling can still launch them. That might be, like, a fun distinction, perhaps. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so we work our way up here. Thinking we want to put a Jimmy right here. And then, you know what, let's try a Jimmy Sheila. I don't think I've done that anywhere yet. And a Jimmy Sheila, I think, should actually be a pretty fun combo, because Jimmy is at his worst when you don't have to get close to him, because it's much easier to weave in between his 2 bullets. But if you do have to get close, i.e. being mandated to by the Sheila, you know, makes things a little more interesting. Oh, those projectiles are getting eaten by the shield. Okay, that happened to Gunther too. I forget what I did. There was some collision thing. I'll fix that up later. And I'm not just saying that because I am hungry and want to finish this level before I go eat. Okay, so you can come flying through here, or just land up here. So, ideally it's an enemy that won't be too interfering if you're going one way and not the other. Put a cuboid here. Oops. And then if we are launching ourselves from over here... Whoops. Whoa! Yeah, then you could just, of course, slam down if you want to. Gunther detected, brain damage activated. Okay. It's okay. He doesn't really do a whole lot, to be honest. To be honest. So we could just add another dude here. A little bouncer action, a little bit of bouncing. Keep saying a little bit of blank action. My brain likes to get stuck onto like 2 words that it'll then use over and over. I'm a very smart man. With a very, very smooth brain. Okay. Yeah, and then you could head up here. There's not really a good reason to head up here right now. Maybe... Yeah, I don't know. I do want to do something with this. Yeah, I'll come back to that, though. I don't really have a good idea right now. Okay. So I'm gonna try something here. Just do 2 Gunthers. Maybe a Gunther and a Jimmy, actually. Yeah, the projectiles do like getting eaten by the slopes. See ya, jackass. Do a Steve. Actually, no, Steve's kind of hard to use in some of these levels because he's just like... He's so dependent on you being on the ground, you know? Because he can't place him in midair. Like, we could do something like this. This would probably work. Like, for this section, because it's grounded. Shit. Oh, monked my noggin. Might move that up a little. Actually, before I forget, let's just preemptively nudge this upwards. Yeah. Okay, and then up here, we do a cuboid. And a Sheila. Should think of further positions like that, yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I might even... We'll see, because I'm already kind of introducing a lot for one world, but it might be interesting to bring Bat and Ball into this world as well. I just think the dynamic they bring and the variety of projectile shooters that it adds is certainly something that I think it could be worth keeping or looking into further. Oops. Glanced away at for half a second, and I immediately plummeted. I don't really know if this platform is doing anything. Not really. Gunther. Slapmo. Kind of just vibing out right now, if you can't tell. Not a super... These ideas right here are not the most structurally thought out. I'm just kind of having fun putting stuff down. Can you get up here? No, you have to. Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah, it might be difficult to convey. Yeah, we'll have to see what we do with that. Okay, and then right up here you fight the guy. Should listen to Tom Cardy HS. Good song. Alright, you might need to remind me later, but I like listening to new music. Alright, let's just give this a go. Just give it a quick run through, see where we're at. Are you so far away? Yeah, that's not gonna stay. This roof is getting definitely gonna get a more fleshed out design. Yeah, I gotta fix that bug. I guess that is an area where the Fling Bomb would really shine, is in those non-Gunther Sheila shields. the heck am I hearing? That was weird. I think my my AC or whatever is on the fritz. I'm hearing a lot of loud thumping from outdoors. This room's a little boring. Just kind of walk. That'll definitely want to adjust the position of that trampoline there. Ah, it's so close to being so smooth. Oh no, I missed it. Okay, that flows pretty well though. I'm reminding you now? Okay, well I'm not doing it right now. I'm not playing copyrighted music on stream. At least music that'll get my... I mean, not like it really matters. It's like, this stream will have like 100-something views by the end of the day. It's not like I'm making much money off of this, if any, but... I know that gets you in trouble with the big YT. Like the cells fall so calmly. Yeah, I did think about giving them like actual falling animations, but it's kind of funny as is. Okay, yeah, I'm liking the direction this is taking. I think the whole World 1 revamp project is turning out pretty strong. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. I would like to normally go a little bit longer, but I'm very hungry. I want to go eat some dinner. I'm gonna make a nice big bowl of chili with some saltines and cheese. And it's gonna be very tasty, and I'm gonna have a good time. Yeah. Oh, see ya, dumbass. Alright. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in tonight. Good productive stream, as always. Hope to see you guys next week. Maybe gonna be streaming a little bit more often, because I'm gonna be going on break pretty soon. I got the winter ahead of me, so this is the time to really grind out and get some major progress made in a big way. But yeah, that'll do it for today's stream. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody.